to my channel. Today we are playing around with the new Jaclyn Cosmetics new launch. This is the Bougie Rouge collection. So this involves a couple of different formulas for blush. We are going to be playing around with the different formulas of blushes to test them out and see what formula I guess I like better. But before you leave this video, do not forget to hit that subscribe button if you have not already. And also, thank you guys so much for being here and welcome to the fam. For those of you that have already subscribed to my channel, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's get into this video. The first thing that caught my attention was the new Bougie Rouge. This is a Rouge Romance. So she had two color stories. This is, like I said, the Rouge Romance palette. So this retails for $45. That is pricey, but considering that it's a full-size palette and you do get a good amount of product, you get actually 6 blushes. So she had a berry, more like a berry cool tone color story, and then I'm totally into the whole warm tone category, so I picked up this palette selection, this color story. So this is what it looks like. You open it up, it had a little, what are these called, like a protector for the mirror, which you do get included in the palette. But look how beautiful these blushes are. So I do like that you get a couple of warm tone blushes, and you also get some nice pinks, more of like the rosy colors. But there's also a beautiful orange, which is totally calling my name, which I love. So this is what the palette looks like, really nice. So this one, like I said, retails for $45. Considering that it does have a good amount of product, I feel like, I mean, that's usually what they go for. And the palette does feel luxe. Look at the beautiful like tie-dye floral background. It is really, really pretty and stunning as far as packaging goes. So next formula we're going to be talking about is the Jaclyn Cosmetics. She came out with the cream to powder blush stick. So this totally called my name. If you know me, I do love a good cream blush. And cream to powder sounds so nice. Like the formula, thinking that it's going to be able to not be so oily and just set down itself. We'll see if it works, but that's what it's basically entitling by the name. And this retails for $22. Let's see how much formula or how much product you get in the product. This I picked up in the shade Swoon. So let's swatch that. Really beautiful, like corally peach color. I did pick up this color because now that we're getting into the warmer months, I definitely like to go more like that whole peach vibe. So this is how much product you get. It's very pigmented, so you don't need a lot. So this should last you quite a bit of time. But it does look a little bit small. I don't know, first impressions, I do think it's a little bit tad small, but we will see how it works on the cheeks. And I like that I'm able to bring it back down. Sometimes I'm kind of scared of putting them all the way up because sometimes they're hard to twist back down, but that one had no problem. So third formula, I like how she definitely gave you options to pick from. So she came out with a very interesting formula. This is the Luminous Rouge Blush. So as you open this guy up, this retails for $30. This one looks like you're definitely getting a nice hefty amount. How much are you getting in this? This is 4.5 grams, 6.16 ounces. So that's quite a bit. So this is a luminous powder. Like it states, this is supposed to be a blush powder. So it's a blush, but in loose powder form. And then let's take off that sticky. And then let me put some in the back of the cap because we are going to see what this is. By the way, the shade Loverboy. I totally love that name. This one's currently sold out, I believe. No, this is actually not currently sold out. I just checked the website. Swoon is currently sold out. Out of these 3 items that I'm currently going to be swatching and reviewing today. But this luminous powder is actually still in stock. So this is Loverboy. It does feel nice and soft. I don't know why I had to smell that. It does feel nice and It does feel nice and soft. And look at how pretty that swatches and blends out on the hand. Really, really pretty. So I'm really excited to be testing that out. So let's go in with first we're going to go in with the cream to powder blush stick. And I'm going to be applying it a little higher because I want to get more of that lifted, sculpted effect. So I could do this with a brush, but I like to kind of just go in with a finger, just kind of get a feel for the product. So I'm going to see how that sets itself, since it's cream to powder. That's what it's stating on the packaging. I'm going to see if it's going to be looking oily, or if it's going to, you know, really just set itself on its own. So on the other cheek, I think I'm going to go in with this Loverboy Luminous powder. So stating by the name, this is supposed to be a very luminous blush that gives you that glow but yet blushing effect. So I'm just trying to dab off the excess. Okay, so the blush is really nice because it's definitely pigmented. You don't need a lot of product. I would say out of these, well, I was gonna say out of these three kind of formulas, I would say that this one's gonna last you a lot longer because I added the tiniest amount in my cap and I still have some left, and it's like full-blown pigment. So this is really pigmented. I don't know if it really gives you like the luminous, if you're familiar with her luminous moon powders, I believe they're called, the highlight powders. This is not that luminous. I'm not getting a highlight effect with this blush, but it doesn't look, yeah, it's not looking glowy whatsoever. So I don't know about luminous. Okay, so it does have some luminosity, very so slightly. It's not going to give you like a highlighter effect on the cheek, but it does give you a nice little something. So if you're expecting like a glow from this blush, you're not going to get it. It's not looking matte, but it's not looking glowy. So if that makes sense. So really pretty, and like I said, you don't need a lot for this formula. This one, it looks obviously more luminous, so if you're really into that whole like fresh skin dewy look, I do recommend this one. This one, I have not noticed it kind of settling it. So what I can compare it to is, not compare it to, but I'm going to compare, well, I'm comparing them. The Rare Beauty Stay Vulnerable Collection blushes pods, these, I have one right here on my vanity. So these do feel like a cream. They're a cream little pod, but these actually settle more into like a nice powder form, if that makes sense. This does not feel like it's powdery on the skin. This one I can definitely still feel a little bit of tackiness, not the crazy amount. I don't think it would be oily. I don't consider this oily. I just think that it's still a cream base, versus the Rare Beauty Stay Vulnerable blushes do tend to just powder down and not be so tacky on the skin, if that makes sense. So just to give you an idea if you are familiar with the Rare Beauty ones. Now let's go into the palette. The reason why I like the palette is because I get to have like a whole like customizable blush if I want to. So if I want to go very rose, but I want that little hint of orange or tangerine shade, I can go in and mix the two, or I can play around with these two if I want a little bit more deeper. It's just, you have a nice leeway, or like a nice, you know, it's convenient to have a customizable palette. Again, this is a powder, so this is not going to be I guess the most hydrating look. Of course, if you want to go for that look, you would go in with a stick. So I'm going to apply this on top of this now that I still feel tackiness, so I wouldn't say that this is definitely a very matte blush once it dries. I don't know if you can tell, but it's definitely still luminous on the cheek. Way more luminous than the luminous powder from Jaclyn Cosmetics. So let's go in with, I think I'm going to go in with Tea Room and let's go in with Tea Room and Pretty Posh. These two, sorry, I mean to flip you guys off. These two shades right here in the middle. I don't see it being super powdery. I don't see much of a difference between the luminous powder and the palette, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not seeing, I wonder if it has to do with me being dry skin type, but my skin wasn't looking dry before I applied this. So I do think I prefer more the palette if I'm going with a powder, if I'm going for a powder, just because I don't get that luminous, glowy skin from the blush that I was kind of expecting. And for $15 more, because I know that this one, no, sorry, this one actually costs retails $30 and yeah, $15 difference. I feel like I would go in with the palette. Like if I were to choose one, and considering that these are both technically powders, I would suggest the palette, just because like I said, you can kind of customize what you're looking for depending on your eye look or what you're wearing depending on the day. So I do kind of recommend just going in with the palette. I mean, you get 6 pans and you get that versatility. As far as this one, I'm kind of a little bit disappointed because of the fact that I was expecting more of a luminous effect on the cheek. So I don't know if you can tell, but this side has that that luminous glow from the cream blush. And then I did apply some powder blush from the palette. So you can definitely still see, let's put more. You can definitely still see the luminosity from the cream blush right here in the cheek versus this side. I mean, I'm clearly disappointed on this side because it just looks a little flat. And it's not, like I said, it's not the pigment that's lacking. It's not the pigment that's lacking. It's more just looking, I like that more luminous glow. But if this is your whole vibe, I mean, it's pigmented, it still blends really beautifully, but I do like this whole still luminous look from the cream blush and applying the powder by the palette on top. I do like that. So I would recommend, if you do like a very nice cream blush but not looking oily, I do highly recommend this blush stick. So even when you blend it, it does feel like a powder. So I guess there it is, that's what it means. So if you do blend it out, you do get more of that powder feeling versus that oily cream base feeling, if that makes sense. But it still looks really luminous on the skin, which I do really enjoy for that fresh face look. As far as powder, this one disappointed me, and I'm really sad because I do love the shade. I will still use it, but it's something that I'm now aware of, that it's not going to be the most luminous glowy blush, which I was expecting because of the name. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you guys found this video somewhat helpful and making your decision if you were looking into buying one of these formulas from Jaclyn Cosmetics. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed my video, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you have not yet already. I will see you guys in my next video. I'm thinking of doing maybe my favorite drugstore foundations. Please let me know in the comments down below if you guys would be interested in that. And I do have probably a couple tutorials coming up for you guys very soon. Let me know in the comments as well what you guys are wanting to see from me next. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Love you guys. Bye.